What does it really mean to talk about mental health in an unequal world, especially when you live at the intersection of marginalised identity? LGBTQ+ individuals already face unique challenges, but how does structural inequality, stigma and discrimination make those mental health struggles even harder? We talk about mental health a lot more these days, but are we talking about it fairly and equally for everyone? What if improving LGBTQ+ mental health isn't just about therapy, but about justice, inclusion and belonging? Hi, I'm Camilla. At Maudsley Learning, our mission is to improve mental health and well-being for all through education, training and open, honest conversations. In this video series, we'll be exploring real-life topics that shape how we think, feel and interact in our daily lives, drawing inspiration from the brilliant blogs and research written by our experienced team of healthcare professionals. In this video, we're exploring how identity shapes mental health, specifically through the lens of LGBTQ+ identity. We'll look at how unequal systems impact mental health outcomes, what stigma and exclusion feel like day to day, and why celebrating pride, authenticity, and safe spaces matters now more than ever. You can read the original blog via the link in the description below. Let's get into it. Let's start with the big picture. We know that mental health isn't shaped by our thoughts and feelings alone. It's shaped by the world we live in, the systems, expectations, and barriers around us. Now imagine facing discrimination simply for being who you are. For LGBTQ+ individuals, this isn't hypothetical, it's part of daily reality. Whether it's difficulty accessing healthcare, being targeted by hate speech, or dealing with subtle but persistent social exclusion, these experiences add up, and they take a huge toll. A report conducted by Stonewall shared some shocking statistics on LGBTQ+ health in Britain. 52% of LGBTQ+ people noted they had experienced depression in the previous year. 20% of LGBTQ+ women, 12% of GBT men, and 41% of non-binary people said they had harmed themselves in the last year. 13% of the LGBTQ+ community had attempted to take their own life in the last year. Separately, a survey conducted by NHS England, which received over 100,000 responses, described a situation where LGBTQ+ communities face discrimination with specific needs not being met, individuals noting poor experiences and major concerns about accessing healthcare that should be a right for all. Globally, LGBTQ+ individuals are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and other serious mental health challenges. This is multifaceted, from lives that include greater backdrops of trauma, including sexual violence, to increased links to neurodivergent conditions such as autism. Across all parts, the increased risk of mental illness is not because of who LGBTQ+ individuals are, it's because of how they're treated. One of the most damaging forces in all of this is shame. Shame isn't merely about feeling bad, it's about being made to feel like you don't belong, like who you are is wrong, unacceptable, or something to hide. Many LGBTQ+ people grow up in environments where their identity isn't reflected, talked about, or celebrated. For some, it's actively condemned. That creates a deep internal conflict because our sense of identity is closely linked to our self-esteem, self-worth, and overall mental health. Silence can be as damaging as open discrimination. If you've never seen someone like you represented in healthcare, media, in leadership, or influential positions, it's easy to internalize the idea that your voice doesn't matter. And when people are told directly or indirectly that their identity is a problem, it chips away at confidence, belonging, the courage to just be yourself and seek healthcare support, as the previously referenced surveys concluded. This is why Pride isn't a party, it's powerful as a social movement. Pride is about visibility. It's about reclaiming identity in a world that often asks LGBTQ+ people to shrink themselves. And from a mental health perspective, it matters deeply, because visibility leads to belonging, representation leads to hope and happiness. Being in a space where you can be yourself fully and unapologetically is not a luxury, it's an essential component to living a happy life. Authenticity isn't about expression alone, it's about survival. It's the foundation of emotional safety and psychological resilience. When LGBTQ+ people are surrounded by affirming friends, family, professionals, and communities, mental health outcomes improve significantly. Supportive environments reduce anxiety, lower the risk of self-harm and suicide, and increase self-esteem. It's not anecdotal, it's backed by scientific research. This is especially true for young people who may still be exploring and forming their sense of self. One supportive adult, just one, can make a world of difference in whether a young person feels seen, safe, and valued. Affirming spaces don't require perfection. They require listening, respect, empathy, the willingness to challenge assumptions, and the humility to learn. If you're not LGBTQ+ yourself, you still have a huge role to play. Being an ally isn't about having the perfect language or never making a mistake. It's about staying curious. It's about checking your own assumptions. And when needed, it's about using your voice to create space for others. True allyship means standing up when it's uncomfortable, not only when it's convenient or will make you look good. It means making space, not taking it, listening more than speaking, and acknowledging when systems are unfair, even when you benefit from them. Because mental health justice is social justice. Mental health conversations are becoming more common, which is a great thing. But if they're not inclusive, if they don't take inequality and lived experience into account, then they're incomplete. LGBTQ+ individuals deserve access to mental health support that's safe, affirming, and culturally competent. This means seeing professionals who understand your identity, having healthcare systems that don't assume you're straight or cisgender, and being part of communities that celebrate difference rather than fear it. Mental health isn't an individual issue, it's a societal one. And if we want to create a world where everyone can thrive, we have to tackle inequality head-on together. To make this practical, 5 starting actions today may be: 1. Enhancing one's own knowledge. Look up current terminology and create space to update oneself on this. The Genderbread person may be a helpful tool to look up to support this, and Stonewall's website that has a summary of terminology. 2. Start including pronouns in your conversations and spaces. Change your email signature to include them and start asking about pronouns in introductions. 3. Reflect on your own identities and how this may bias your focus. This extends from gender, sexuality, and relational diversity to wider social contexts as well. Burnham's systemic concepts of social graces may be a starting tool, or looking at models on intersectionality. 4. Keep reflecting on your bias and extend your lens. As so much bias can be unconscious, it needs conscious effort to attend to it. Gaining spaces to reflect with others about this consistently is key. Supervision spaces and group settings bring up the discussion about how to be more affirming and supportive. 5. Utilize credible sources of support. It is so important to access reliable information. Sources such as Stonewall can offer you a list of mental health services to signpost to that offer targeted support for LGBTQ+ individuals. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you reflect, or if you want to share your own story, we'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. For more conversations like this on mental health, well-being, identity, and inclusion, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. And if you'd like more from Maudsley Learning, blogs, events, training, you can join our monthly newsletter through the link in the description.